Good morning, Your Honor.
Excuse me, somebody got, Brenda?
The what?
Randy? Somebody got, Randy?
What do you need a number of?
That's what I need.
What numbers do you need? And it's gonna be on, it's on the form you gave. You have the two papers that you got earlier when you talked to Mr. Jackson?
He left him in the room.
Okay, there, the two papers you got earlier from Mr. Jackson? You remember that? The numbers are on those pieces of paper. Okay?
No. The green means that they can hear us.
Okay, perfect.
If it's red, then they'll mute.
Oh, bring mine up top.
So if I mute it?
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Your Honor. Everybody is in the courtroom. They've all gotten their advice of rights and their notice to appears for the next court date.
Okay, perfect. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Carlos Clark. File number 22-01749. Council appearance.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Brian Jackson on behalf of Mr. Clark, who is appearing for his arraignment in custody.
Okay, Mr. Clark, today is the date and the time set for an arraignment on a bench warrant. You were supposed to be before me back on April 14th. You did see me back on March 30th, and there was an offer extended to you. It looks like you were scheduled to be in front of Judge Allen. And if you had pled before Judge Allen, the people were going to dismiss this case, but then you didn't appear. My understanding was before Judge Allen, or you didn't appear before me either.
Yeah, I got the court dates mixed up.
Okay. Okay, looks like your bond was revoked on this. And you've had a few failure to appear issues on this file. Well, you can address the bonds.
Thank you. Mr. Clark just indicated that he had a court mix-up, but also moreover from that, he's lived in Lansing his entire life, and he works in the construction business. He has an address in Lansing, a phone number that he says is working, and he understands that he must follow all court conditions and appear for court. Hopefully it was just a mix-up, and he promises to appear. If Your Honor would allow him to have a PR bond, he would appreciate it. Thank you.
Did he have a warrant in 55th too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he address that already?
No, Your Honor.
So he has to go before 55th as well. My concern with you, Mr. Clark, is that you've missed, or I have at least 4 bench
I
warrants
missed
on
the
this.
court in 55th because I had just started a new job that day. And I tried to call and see if I could change it, but they wouldn't let me.
I understand that you probably believe you had a valid excuse. You believe you had a valid excuse back on July 15, 2022. You believed you had a valid excuse when you failed to appear on August 5th, 2022. You believed you had a valid excuse when you failed to appear on October 7th of 2022. And you believed you had a valid excuse when you failed to appear on January 9th, 2023. So the likelihood of your return to court is not looking good, at least not when you're supposed to. And this case has been lingering largely because you continue to fail to appear and address the issues, or you can't keep up with your schedule. And you posted bonds on these matters. These are not situations where you had PR bonds. You've been posting bonds and forfeiting them. So personal recognizance bond is not appropriate in this matter. I'll set a bond at 2,000 cash surety. You'll get your next court date in the mail. Are you at the address still on East Malcolm X?
Yep.
Stay facing the judge until she's done, okay?
Okay, well, hopefully you'll get before Judge Allen and address your matter there, and then the people will follow through with your offer on this matter, which was to dismiss this file upon successful plea on the file before Judge Allen's court. I will get you your next court date in the mail. All your other bond conditions from your previous bond are going to be reinstated. That is that you are to appear for all of your future court dates. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without approval of the court. Do you have any questions at this time?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, sir. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Calvin Copeland.
Step right up, bench, please. Step right up.
File number, council appearance.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Brian Jackson on behalf of Mr. Copeland, who is present in custody for his arraignment.
Okay, Mr. Copeland, today's the date and the time that was set for an arraignment on a PA 53 violation, that's also known as a bond violation. The allegation, sir, is that while out on bond, you violated the terms and conditions of your bond by having contact with the alleged or protected party in this matter, Layla Nevins, over the phone. Looks like you were arraigned in this matter.
Yes, Your Honor, I thought something was wrong with her.
I'm gonna stop you because you got a right to remain silent. I don't want you to put anything on the record that could be used against you, okay?
All right.
I'm just, okay, so it looks like you have a personal protective order, and that's what triggered this alleged bond violation. Because I was looking at what you were on bond before this court for, and there is no protected party before this court. I guess that action triggered this. Let's see. Okay, well, you have the right to have a contested hearing as to the bond violation. You have the right to be represented by counsel during that contested hearing. You have the right to have the prosecution bring evidence to support the violation to prove beyond a reasonable doubt whether or not there was a violation of your bond conditions. If you are found to be in violation of your bond can be revoked. And you can be sentenced to contempt of court, which is punishable with a maximum penalty of $7,500 or up to 93 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a question or something that you wanted to state that would not put anything on the record that could be used against you?
It was just pertaining to what happened. Like I contacted the police because I thought something was wrong, but I got a call about her, so I called the
Okay,
police.
so it
'cause I
sounds
thought
like you have, that sounds like what your supposed defense is, and I'll leave that to you and your attorney. I'm just arraigning you on what the allegations are, okay? I'm not here today to determine whether or not you're guilty of any violations, okay? Just want to let you know that you are being cited for a violation and that you do have the right to have a hearing and you do have the right to be represented by counsel. Does he have a court-appointed attorney on the underlying matter pending before this court?
It appears so.
This
Is
one
it,
enter plea of not guilty.
Is this file 230153 FH? He has an attorney.
Okay, sounds good. Is the court entering a plea of not guilty as to the violation?
Thank you.
Okay, you can address the bond.
Thank you. Mr. Copeland is on bond now, and my understanding is that he hasn't had violations except for this PPO violation, which is not quite with the court, but still a court matter for today. He has a defense that he wants to put forward at the appropriate time. He told me that he doesn't have anything on his record. He had things expunged, and he has one other thing that is supposed to be expunged, maybe an older domestic case that's scheduled to be expunged in a couple months. He says, he told me that he has always appeared for court when he was supposed to. He's lived in the Lansing area for over 5 years. His mother, sister, brother, and children are all in the area. He is supposed to start working at the Barber College this Monday or Tuesday coming up. And he just received a Section 8 voucher that he hopes to be able to use. So he's wants to avoid incarceration and be able to receive a PR bond because he promises to appear. The allegations are nonviolent in nature, although still serious, and he promises to follow all conditions of the court. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. I believe that there's a immediate threat to the alleged victim or to the public based on the report that was attached to the bond violation. It also sounds like he's going to be arraigned this afternoon before the circuit court on the PPO. On the bond violation, I'll set the bond at 500 personal recognizance, and you'll get a notice of a hearing date in the mail, okay? Do you have any questions today, Mr. Copeland?
No, Your Honor. I just can't afford to lose my voucher. I'll be homeless when I get out. I just got my voucher for Section 8. I'm supposed to start my job at the Barber College tomorrow on Monday with Marcel.
Sorry, I've heard all those things. I just gave you a PR bond.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Okay. Do you have any questions though?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set for today then. Thank you. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Holbrook. Excuse me, counsel appearance.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Brian Jackson on behalf of Mr. Holbrook, who is present in custody for his arraignment.
Mr. Holbrook, today is the date and the time that's set for an arraignment. I do have a felony complaint here. It alleges that on or about April 29, 2023 at 2802 South Washington Ave, that's located in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, that you did allegedly, contrary to the law, commit the act in count 1 of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. The allegation is that you made an assault upon an Alma Robinson by strangulation or suffocation, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.84. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 10 years and or $5,000 in fines. Your DNA is to be taken upon arrest, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There's a count 2 of domestic violence. The allegation is that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon an Alma Robinson, who is a resident or former resident of your household, or an individual with whom you had a dating relationship, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. Restitution may be ordered, as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. Sir, that's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. And again, a consecutive sentence may be imposed if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand the charges there and the maximum penalty in each charge?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Very good. You have the right to be represented by counsel. Mr. Jackson from the Public Defender's Office is representing you for the purposes of your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney with you to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and to have an attorney with you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the Public Defender's Office represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand that right to counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, is he making that request, Mr. Jackson?
He is.
Okay, Mr. Holbrook, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything that you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You have the right to plead not guilty. And you have the right to stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a preliminary examination. You have the right to have that examination within 21 days of today's date, and that's the date of your arraignment. And the right to be preliminary examination only applies to count 1. At the time of the preliminary examination, sir, you have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, and that is to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed, and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime. Do you understand your right as it relates to
Yes.
preliminary examination?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, now that 21-day timeline can only be extended or if you waive it, or if the court finds good cause to go beyond that 21-day timeline, okay?
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
You're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Tony Flores on May 11, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. That can be held via Zoom, or you can appear in person. There's a preliminary examination that's scheduled 1 week later. That's in person before Judge Flores, May 18th at 8:30 in the morning. Did you get a copy of your notice to appear in the Zoom instructions?
I did, Your Honor. Yes, I have it right here. Thank you.
No problem. You have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right to jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty, and you have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charge being brought against you at trial beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights so far?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. You have the right to confront, see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call against you at trial. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial, and you have the right to bring evidence to trial that you believe would further a defense to the charges being brought against you. You understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. And you have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody pending the outcome of this prosecution. Let's see. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. For the purposes of his arraignment, is he pleading not guilty, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Sir, what is your address?
My address is 2802 South Washington Avenue, and that's Lansing. And I'm sorry.
Okay, is that the address of Alma as well?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so there will be a no contact order that's in place pending this prosecution. Where will you stay? Because you won't be able to stay where she stays.
Yes, understood. Thank you.
Do you have an address or a place where you could stay? That you can provide the
Oh,
address?
not at this time. I'm going to have to think of something. That is my home. I own that home, or am paying a mortgage on that home. So I will have to figure something out, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
What's your phone number?
It is 517-377-2349.
Okay, you can address the bond, counsel.
Thank you. Mr. Holbrook represents that he's lived in Lansing since 1996 and his home on South Washington for over 23 years. He told me that he had some old convictions, possibly a OWI was his last one in 1995. And other than that, he represents no recent criminal history. He also said that he's always appeared for his court dates when he had them. He understands the no contact order. He did tell me that it's his house, so he would need to get his stuff, maybe with a police escort one time, and that the complaining witness stays there, even though he doesn't want her to and has been trying to get her to leave. She's not on a lease, it's not his wife, but at the same time, apparently she stays there most of the time. And Mr. Holbrook, I explained to him and he understands that he can't have contact with the complaining witness whatsoever. He understands that. And if he can have a police escort for that one time and get his property, he will appreciate that. And he would appreciate a PR bond given his minimum history and his record of court compliance. Thank you.
Thank you. I've reviewed the prior criminal history. There are no recent convictions, and the last conviction was from 1995. No assaultive history in this matter. And I didn't ask, but I assume, Mr. Holbrook, you're not currently on probation, parole, or out on bond on any matter?
No, Your Honor, I'm not.
Okay. Bond will be set in the amount of $2,500 personal recognizance. While out on bond, you have the following conditions. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription due to the allegations as alleged in the affidavit. I am going to order that you participate in some substance abuse testing while you're out on bond. Let's see here. You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with Alma Robinson. You cannot have third-party contact with her. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
So no contact of any kind. You're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever she is, okay?
Understood, Your Honor.
I will allow you to go to the address of 2802 South Washington with peace officer to remove your personal belongings. And if the housing situation changes, meaning that you're able to evict her from that residence, then your attorney can make a motion to amend the bond so that you can return to that address, okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
You do need to report to the court where you're going to be residing during the pendency of this matter within 48 hours of your release, okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Understood.
You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours, and you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon while out on bond. Do you have any questions about your bond condition, sir?
No, ma'am, I do not.
No matters for the record, counsel.
Nothing further. Thank you.
You're all set, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Bill Cruz Baldiles, counsel appearance.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Baldides, who is here for his arraignment.
You see yourself on this.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Baldiles, how are you?
Good yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. Today was the date and the time set for arraignment. I do have a felony complaint here. It alleges that on or about April 29, 2023, at the address of 1016 Kelsey Avenue, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did contrary to law commit the act in count 1 of police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. The allegation is that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Rebecca Hare, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.81 D1. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 2 years and or $2,000 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There is or under MCL 750.81 D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. There is a count 2, police officer assaulting, resisting, that alleges that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Michael Fomby, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties contrary to MCL 750.81 D1. Again, that's a felony. Maximum penalty 2 years and or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81 D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. There's a count 3 of attempted peace officer disarming non-firearm. It alleges that you did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed in the perpetuation or was prevented in the execution thereof, and that was done contrary to MCL 750.92, and that is take a taser from the lawful possession of Rebecca Hare, a peace officer with the Lansing Police Department, contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.479B1. This is a high court misdemeanor. Maximum penalty 2 years or $1,000 in fines upon conviction of an attempted felony. The court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling sampling. There's a count 4 of domestic violence that alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon a Roberta Baldillas, a resident or former resident of your household or your spouse, and that this was contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.812. Restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. That count 4 is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of 93 days in jail and of $500 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There is, however, a second offense notice. It says, take notice that the defendant was previously convicted of assaulting or assaulting and battering his or her spouse, former spouse, an individual with whom he or she had a dating relationship, an individual with whom she had a child in common, or a resident or former resident of his or her household, or of knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual by violating MCL 750.812 on or about January 6, 2012, and therefore upon conviction will be subject to an enhanced sentence under MCL 750.814 that makes count 4 a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and or $1,000 in fines. Count 5 of assault or assault and battery alleges that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon the following person, that being a Sebastian Slater, and that was contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.811. Restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. This is a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. Again, a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Mr. Valdez, do you understand the charges and the maximum penalty associated with each charge?
Yes.
You have the right to be represented by counsel. You are represented by the Public Defender's Office today for the purposes of your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and you have the right to have an attorney to represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you have the right to make a request for public defense counsel to represent you at the expense of the public. You understand your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he making a request for court-appointed counsel?
He is.
Okay, Mr. Valdez, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute. You are being charged with felonies, so you have the right in this matter to proceed to preliminary examination. And you have the right to have your preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date, that being your date of arraignment. That timeline of 21 days can only be extended if you waive the 21 days or if the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21-day timeline. You have the right at your preliminary examination to require the prosecution to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crimes. Do you understand your right so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have the right in this matter to proceed to trial, and you have the right to jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until the prosecution can prove you guilty, and you have the right to have them prove each element of each of the charges being brought against you at trial beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial. You have the right to present evidence at trial that you believe would further a defense to the charge. You have the right to confront, see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. Do you have any questions about your trial rights?
No.
You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference, and that's before Judge Cynthia Ward, and it's going to be May 12th, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. You have a preliminary examination scheduled before Judge Ward in person at the court, May 19th, 2023 at 8:30, okay?
Okay.
So your probable cause can be held via Zoom, or you can appear in person, but your preliminary examination, you must appear in person. Did you get a copy of the notice to appear, sir?
No,
You do not
Sure,
yet?
right there. Yeah,
no.
It's in front of you, yes, you got it, sir.
it's right there.
What is it?
You have
Notice
notice
to
to
appear.
appear.
It's the purple piece of paper, sir.
I guess so.
Okay, very good. Okay. Are you currently on probation, parole, or out on bond on another
No.
matter?
No.
Okay, were you recently on probation, sir?
I've been on probation, but that was like 8 years ago.
Okay. You weren't on probation in October 2022?
No,
Okay. You can address bond counsel.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry, and the court will enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
Thank you. Mr. Baldiaz represents that he's lived in Lansing for over a year with his family, his wife, his 2 minor kids, and his adult child also lives here with him. He is a veteran of 7 years with the U.S. Army and was honorably discharged, and also is on VA assistance. So he does not have a 9-to-5 job. He told me that he hasn't had recent serious convictions. And he also understands that there may be a no contact order with the alleged victims here, and will have to stay away from these people. I believe it may be a family member, and he understands that. He promises to appear for court. He told me that he's always appeared in his prior matters and plans to appear if released. He would request a PR bond with the understanding that he cannot talk to any complaining witnesses, engage in any assaultive or harassing behavior, and must appear at court when he is supposed to, like he's indicated he has a record of doing. And we would ask for a PR bond. Thank you.
Mr. Baldia, are you currently employed?
no,
Okay, and that address on Kelsey, that's your home address?
yes,
And you do not yet have an address where you would stay during the pendency of this matter?
the only address I got to stay at this matter is in Courtroom, Oklahoma.
Okay, well, one of your.
If I can't go back and see, if I can't go back and see her, then Oklahoma is the only way I got.
We can't go back and see who? The alleged
My
victim?
wife and my children.
Okay, well, there's going to be a no contact order in place for the protection of the alleged victims. It looks like one of them is, there's allegation of one victim being your wife. And then there's an allegation of another victim. Oh, no, I think this is a family member, a wife and is it your stepson?
Yeah, he swung at me, so I
Allegations.
swung back.
Okay, well, we're gonna stop you because I don't want you to say anything on the record that could be used against you. And to the extent that you believe you have a lawful defense, you'll discuss that in private with your counsel, okay?
Okay,
Okay. There's gonna be a no contact order and protection of those two parties pending this matter, but there also is gonna be an order that you're not to leave the estate without prior approval of the court.
okay.
So going to Oklahoma would not be an option for,
I have no other options besides living on the street. And I'm not
Okay.
doing that. I'm a soldier and I do not deserve that.
okay.
I almost gave my life for this country. And now this is going on over some
Recognize.
cats that didn't even belong to us.
Okay, Mr. Valdez, you don't want to say any more because now is not the time.
Okay,
Okay, well, we are dealing with some serious allegations here, sir. It's not even just allegations of a situation involving your home, but there are at least 2 counts of that you're being charged with for assaulting or resisting an officer, 2 separate officers, and then an allegation that you attempted to disarm an officer. So this is a serious interaction that's being alleged here. This is not just an action involving some cats as alleged, okay?
I swung at him and 8
Now,
cops
well,
Mr.
jumped on top.
sir.
Valdez, now is not the time.
Okay, you said he's engaged with the VA right now?
Yes,
Okay, is he receiving any services through the VA at this time?
I'm not sure. Are you receiving any services?
Yeah, I get like $880.
No, I mean like any services as it relates to counseling or treatment or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
I've never had to ask him for anything. This has always happened, and the judge right at the beginning told me that you stay out of trouble and be good, and told me to leave his room. So I did.
okay, I definitely need an address of where you're gonna stay. And you said what's in Oklahoma? You say you're from
My-
Oklahoma?
Yes, my mother lives there and my brothers. I'm the only one that lives out of state.
Gotcha. Okay, bond will be set in the amount of 2,500 personal recognizant with GPS tether. While out on bond, you need to appear for all of your future court dates. You've been provided your next 2 court dates so far. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with Roberta Valdez or Sebastian. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but how am I supposed to get my clothes?
Well, do you understand that there's a no contact order first?
How am I supposed to get clothes? Yes, I answered you, ma'am. I said yes, but now I'm asking, how am I supposed to get my clothes and my belongings?
Okay, you can make arrangements for that, but it can involve you having contact directly or indirectly with those 2 parties. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay,
I still don't understand how I'm supposed to get my clothes.
okay.
Can
Well,
I
we'll talk about
ask her to leave and that way she's there by herself? That way I'm there by myself and I can grab my stuff and leave?
You can make arrangements to have law enforcement accompany you there.
I don't like law enforcement. I don't like law enforcement. That's why I'm asking if I can ask her to leave, can I go there by myself, grab my stuff and get out of her house?
No, you can't ask her to leave because you can't have contact with her. So you don't understand the no contact order then.
Yes, I do understand the contour, ma'am, but how am I supposed to get my clothes?
Mr. Baldiaz, the judge is trying to explain that you're gonna have to, if you want to get out of jail and get your stuff, you're gonna have to have law enforcement come with you. That's the only way. It's normal.
I don't
And
trust any of them. I don't trust any of them. After them two pulled a gun on me, I don't trust any of them.
well, the alternative unfortunately would be to stay in jail, and I know we don't want to see that happen.
And then she said I reached for her pepper spray, even though she was on
Now's
top of
not the
my
time to
head.
talk about it. I'm just gonna give you one last warning just to just answer the judge's questions if you understand them.
What's the judge's name?
My name is Judge Kristen Simmons.
Okay, that's all I need.
I'm sorry?
That's all I needed.
Okay, are you ready for me to continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Roberta Baldiaz is or Sebastian Slater. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I reckon.
You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon while you're on probation. I'm sorry, while you're out on bond. You're not to be at the address at 1013 Kelsey Road. While the
Oh, okay. Well, that's not the address, so I will go to my house. That's my neighbor's address. And I can tell her she can take the kids to the park or something like that if I can
okay,
get my
well,
stuff.
it's apparent that he's not going to follow court orders. So your bond,
Yes, I am.
your
I
bond,
just told you that. I'm gonna-
your bond is set at 5,000 cash surety, GPS tether, and victim notification. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about bond conditions and how you can get around the bond conditions. I'm not going to make arrangements for you to get your clothes. That's your business. It's not mine. I'm going to tell you how the court order is going to run and you figure it out. Okay. And I'm also not going to go back and forth with you. Okay. This is not Mr. Baldiaz's court. Okay. It's not what he wants.
No, but when do I get to speak?
Well,
On my behalf.
you've been speaking the whole time. You've been speaking the whole
No,
entire
you've been-
time. And if you keep going back with me, you can speak to the magistrate tomorrow and I'll remand you.
And then what?
I can remand you and you can speak to the magistrate tomorrow if you want to keep going back and forth. If I can't conduct an arraignment, I'm going to discontinue it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll
So,
wash my mouth. No one.
Thank you. The bond, what is your home address? I actually was at the address on Kelsey Street. This paperwork says it's 1013. Is that not your address?
No, it's 1016.
Not to be at the address of 1016 Kelsey Road, City of Lansing, Eaton County, State of Michigan. I had already told you not to be wherever the victims live, work, or go to school. So even if the address was misstated on the paperwork, that doesn't give you the right to go to the address. That'd be in violation of the no contact order. You understand that that's still a bond violation, correct?
Can I contact my family and have them pick up my stuff from them? Which I have no family, but can I have someone please get my stuff? I'm walking around in which your officers threw me in mud and then forced my face into the mud and then threatened to pull a taser gun on me. Knowing I have heart conditions, I'm a VA veteran. It's hard for me to understand some things when I don't make sure of what that is. I don't know what it is that I've done wrong.
Okay, I'm not disputing that you're not sure as how you got here or you're not sure what you did that was in violation of law. That's not the dispute. What I'm asking if you understand the bond conditions, that's what I need to know, okay? You can figure out how you got here with your attorney in private and not on the record where you're stating things that are being recorded and can be used against you. Okay, that's not the appropriate time. Excuse me?
So I understand.
Okay, and so the no contact order, you have to be within 1,500 feet. Who could you potentially call to other than these two protected parties to get your things?
In Oklahoma, I have no family here. I have nobody here but my wife and children. They're the only ones I know besides me. No.
If your family is able to come up from Oklahoma and want arrangements to be made for them to have third-party contact to get your things, then you talk to your attorney, and they'll make sure that the court addresses any orders that will prohibit third-party contact for that purpose. As of right now, the only provision is that you may go with law enforcement to the address to one time to receive your personal items, okay? That's your option. Also, while out on bond, you're not to possess firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to leave the state without prior approval of the court. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Your bond is $2,500 cash surety with GPS tether. Any additional matters for the record?
What does that mean?
I'll explain that to you.
You're all set, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Right this way, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I get clarification on that? Is it 2,500
Yeah.
cash surety, 2,500 PR, or 5,000 cash surety?
2,500 cash surety.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's see, it's the same person. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Lukamba Belize, file number 21-031770D.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, council appearance.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Brian Jackson on behalf of Mr. Mabisley, who is present in custody for an arraignment.
Okay, I have this first file. To date is the date set or to address a probation violation arraignment. It looks like you were originally set to appear for probation violation arraignment before Judge Buchanan back on February 7th, and you failed to appear. There is a request and summons for probation violation here dated and signed on January 24th, 2023. The allegation is that you committed the following technical violations while on probation before Judge Buchanan: that you tested positive for alcohol with the ETG of 2,160 nanograms per milliliters at PATS back on January 5th, 2023. And then there's an allegation that you tested positive for alcohol with an ETG of 4,719 nanograms per milliliters at PATS back on January 16, 2023. So you have the right, sir, to have a contested hearing on this matter. You have the right to be represented by counsel at that contested hearing. You have the right to have the prosecution and the probation department put forth evidence to establish by a preponderance of the evidence whether or not you violated your probationary terms. If you're found to be in violation of probation, your probation can be revoked or terminated. It can be continued and extended, or you can face additional oversight measures such as a scram tether. You could be sentenced to some jail time or fines and costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, because I have the problem because I was losing my phone, everything I was losing, so everything, so if I must have it but if I apply the job, everything, they show me you know that your back record, so it's so bad. So I say I have a probation and I'm going to drug test, and then I got my family and my wife, and then she's pregnant, and then so what y'all gonna do? I must tell you I told you my probation officer is it uh what
Brendan
you name?
Hanna?
Yeah, because I'm not speaking English, I speak Swahili
I
because
was gonna say, do you need an interpreter, sir? Because it does note in this original file
yes, that's
that you have had a Swahili
yeah,
interpreter.
yeah.
Okay, you need a Swahili interpreter?
Yes. I think so my profession is a Brenda. I think so Brenda. I think so.
Okay, it looks like he also has a PA 53 violation on another file, but he needs to have an interpreter. So I'm gonna discontinue this arraignment because we gotta find a Swahili interpreter. I'm gonna discontinue, but I am gonna set an interim bond, so if he can post the bond, he can return for his arraignment date, he'll get a new date in the mail. An interim bond on the file number 21-03177 will be 500 cash surety. Did you understand what I said, sir?
So why, ma'am?
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
You said what? Oh, I'm not hear you.
Okay, I don't know that he can even understand the bond that's being set or how we can explain it to him. And I would just remand him till tomorrow, and then we can try to get our administration to find an interpreter if possible to log in via Zoom. So I can explain what's going on. Do you understand what we're saying, sir?
Yeah, that's a. Can you help me because can you give me that date? I'm gonna come in on the court. You gonna give me like a translator. So because I need to go home to see my daughter, and then my wife, she's pregnant. She have an appointment on tomorrow, so gonna go to
Okay.
her.
Okay. I don't have the date that I'm going to give you right now because I don't have your next court date. You'll have to get that in the mail.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, so you can help me to go home today, please?
You're not gonna, I don't think I can send you home because I just told you what your interim bond was and you didn't understand. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He may not know the term interim bond, but we had a good conversation when I spoke to him earlier.
Okay, sounds good. And he should already be on a scram tether, I thought. But I could be wrong. It looks like that was ordered back in September. I don't know if he's still testing, but I'll continue the interim bond of $500, and then we'll get him a date and time set for an arraignment with an interpreter on both of these files.
Okay.
On the PA 53 violation, I'll set the bond at 500, interim at 500 PR. You're all set for today, sir, okay?
Okay, mommy, so, can you help me, so, I don't know, so how much of it I'm gonna pay today, because I need to go home today.
You, on the probation file, you need 500 cash shorty, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome. I think that's all I have for today.
I believe that's
Thank
all
you.
I have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.